Hello.
It's good to see you. Thank you for attending this pre-departure meeting. I hope it's helpful for you. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you could all put your speakers on mute. Um, Noises in the background have a way of carrying over very easily. So if you could do that, I'd appreciate it. If you do have any questions, feel free to hold them towards the end and we'll get to them, or you can also put them in the chat and we'll address those, or Tracy will address those once she finishes with going over all the pre-departure information. So next, I'd like to introduce Tracy from Premier World Discovery, and go ahead and take it away, Tracy.
Thank you, Regina. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining me this afternoon. This is an exciting way to get you prepared for your trip to Hawaii. My only down thing about the meeting is that I'm not going with you. So I'm a little jealous of that. It's the weather looks beautiful and it's paradise. So we'll go ahead and get started. What I'd love you to do or ask you to do is if you could pull out your documents and have them handy. If you could do that for me, that'd be really great. Maybe take things out. We're going to be looking at the main document we're going to look at. It's usually in the back. It's a folder and it says important travel information and helpful hints. So that's the one we're really going to walk through. And then your air and land sheet and your itinerary, I'm going to kind of refer to different things back and forth. So it's always nice to have all your documents laid out in front of you. It is just helpful. So this trip is coming up March 11th. Believe it or not, Saturday is March 1st already, folks. So this is sneaking up on you quickly. Our Hawaii 3-island adventure. And I'm going to go ahead and, as I mentioned, that your travel documents, the zipper pouch, the first thing I want to mention to you is keep that packet with you in your carry-on. Don't take anything out and leave it at home. Make sure everything stays inside, nice and sealed in there and zipped shut. And that way, if there's any information you need in that documentation, you have it all together with you in your carry-on bag, okay? So we're going to go through everything in there and make sure that we get all your questions answered. Now, again, I'm following that important travel information and helpful hints document. So I'm going to start with the very first paragraph that says photo identification. At this point, all you need is a driver's license. You do not even need the real ID until May. So all you need is a driver's license or a passport if you prefer to travel with your passport. So make sure that when you leave home that you have identification with you. And then you also have in your packet, unless you've booked your own air, if you've booked air with us, you'll have a blue sheet of paper in your packet with your flight information on it. And I do like suggest that you look at that document, make sure your names are spelled correctly. They should be kind of down at the bottom. Usually we like to highlight your name, make it stand out, take a look, make sure that that name matches your identification, right? Sometimes we go by a certain name, but our legal name is something different. So we want to make sure that it's correct. If there are any mistakes, anything, please let us know at the end of the meeting and we'll get that fixed, okay? Also, your booking reference number usually is at the top right corner, might say reference or confirmation number. Depending on the airline, you are able to look at your reservation with that reservation number. Usually they'll just ask for the number and your name, and you can go into the airline and look at the seating and all that, depending on the airline. But most of them are certainly flexible and let you go in and take a look at your seating and things like that. Also, you can add your frequent flyer numbers too. So let's talk about seat assignments. This is always the big question and the big thing with people. We have no control over the seat assignments. We used to, but no longer. Those are all done by the airline. So if you and your roommate say have different last names, you're traveling with a friend, sometimes the airlines will split you. We request spouses and friends and roommates to be sitting together. Sometimes the airlines do, split them up, what have you. So I do encourage you to look, go on the airline, look at your seating, and what you can do if you're even not, you want to change your seats or see what else is available. You are always welcome to either go on the website, look at the layout of the plane, find your seating and move your seat around, or you can even upgrade sometimes, pay a little extra to move, 5 rows up or into the next block of seats. You can pay for that on your own directly with the airline or the morning of check-in. I am a firm believer that sometimes you can just ask the people at the ticket counter about that. And, they're usually really flexible and want to work with you on that as well. So always know that, if you want to adjust your seating to ask the airline and try to make your changes. So let's talk about our apps and our, frequent flyers and things like that. So I know we have people flying on Delta. So if you have one of the Delta Sky Miles cards, do know that your baggage is free, up to 8 bags, actually. So although we only allow you to bring one, you are welcome to bring to get free luggage on this. The trick of this is you have to make sure before you put your card in the kiosk machine at the airport that you plug in your Delta Sky Miles number. Very important. Or go online and put in your Sky Miles number and connect it to this reservation. Okay. Also, the app. Delta app is great. It's called Fly Delta, and it will tell you your gate is this, you're departing, you're loading, your bags are at this carousel. It's a really nice app and very user friendly if you want to use the app. We also have people flying on American, also a major carrier, do a great job. They also have their advantage points and miles as well and their credit card. If you have their credit card, your luggage is also free. So I actually have both. I have American and Delta because I never know which airline I'm going to use. And then they also have an app that is very user friendly. So, I will say this. For those of you that maybe don't want to check in 24 hours in advance, or you have no interest in looking online or any of that, or you don't use apps, that's okay. You all have reservations. You can show up at the airport the day of departure without even looking online or using the app, and you'll still be able to check in and get on the trip. Okay. Because I understand not everybody is as, computer savvy, or maybe other people don't use apps, things like that. So do know that your reservations are all in, and you do not have to check in 24 hours in advance if you don't want to. You can, but you don't have to. So here's our first flight schedule. This is our Robert Evelyn flying on Delta. So you're going nonstop Detroit, Honolulu, and then of course Hawaiian Airlines is on there. You all have these sheets. You actually should have 2 copies of this sheet, and that is so you can share it with a family member or a neighbor or someone that you might want them to have all your flight information. Or another good idea is to take a picture of this with your phone and share it with your loved ones if you want them to know where you're at and what your schedule is. But we have the Hawaiian Airlines schedules on there as well. And then this flight goes from Maui through Atlanta and then back to Detroit. We also have people flying from Nashville. So you are going American Airlines through Phoenix and then Phoenix to Honolulu. And then the American airline flights in the middle are the same. And that's a short flight. I think 35 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. It's a very quick, easy flight to get, and they're all nonstop. And then American Airlines on the way home through Dallas. So that's our next flight. We have 2 people that have their own air. They're flying Delta, and their transfers are on their own. And then, of course, we have another couple also doing their own air as well through out of Detroit. So this, when you're doing your own air, it's certainly you have transfers included in things. So just have your schedule on you. We do print all these for everybody, so you have that kind of in front of you. And this is a ticketless trip, so you're not going to get physical tickets. You don't have to worry about any physical tickets. What's going to happen is you show up at the airport, American Airlines in Detroit. I'm not sure about anywhere else. I know Delta, of course, in Detroit is McNamara Terminal. My suggestion to you is to have you dropped off at door number 4. Or if you're parking your car and going to Detroit Metro, you take the shuttle, you take the Skywalk over and come down the escalator and go to your left, and the domestic check-in is there. You do need to go to the kiosk machine. And what you do when you go to the kiosk is put in a credit card for identification. Your reservation will pop up, and then follow the prompts. There should be someone there to help you, but it's very, very easy. And then your bag tags are going to print. Even if you check in 24 hours in advance, If you're checking luggage, you still have to use the kiosk to get your bags tagged, okay? Same with American and any other airport. I'm not sure about some of the airports that we're using. I know Grand Rapids has kiosks, but Grand Rapids is very easy to walk up and check in. And of course, Nashville, I'm not sure if they have kiosk machines. Most do. But don't be intimidated by that. You can just go up, put in a credit card, pull it out, and follow the prompts. Okay. And there's usually someone there to help you. And then, of course, we have our some other people with Own Air, and they're just doing the Hawaii flights. So let's talk about luggage. So I am following again this important travel information and helpful hints document. I'm still on the first page. The bottom right corner says baggage fees. Okay, so this is where we're at. So Delta is $35 per bag each way. Okay. And I'm a firm believer in transparency. So I don't want any of you to have any surprises. Just be aware that this is coming. You'll have a $35 baggage fee unless you have the Delta Sky Miles card, of course. You're welcome to bring one suitcase checked and up to 50 pounds. So quite a bit. And then we'll talk about your carry-on in that later. Americans checked bag policy is the same, up to 50 pounds, but their fee is $40 for your checked suitcase. $35 if you pay online, which you might be able to do that with American. So certainly if you wanted to do that in advance, you can try, but it is again, the airport is ticketless, or excuse me, cashless. So you want to use a credit card and have that handy, and you usually can just pay for your bag at the kiosk machine. So let's also talk about Hawaiian Airlines, because we have the in between, probably, our short flights. You're also allowed up to 50 pounds, and your first bag is $30 to check on the flight. And if you become a Hawaiian Sky Miles member, now I know that you probably won't be flying Hawaiian Airlines much, but if you join, it's free to join. Then you get your bags half off. It's only $15. So something to think about. Again, it's not required, but do be aware that you have baggage fees. And again, I just don't like there to be any surprises when you get there. So let's talk about luggage. You are on this tour. You're welcome to bring one large suitcase, and then a carry-on bag and a personal item. And I put some examples up here. I just had some people go to Hawaii. They're actually there right now. And I had, I think, 4 or 6 people with no checked luggage. And if you're planning on not checking any luggage, I am impressed with you. Bravo. Because I don't think I could ever do that for Hawaii, but you're certainly welcome to just do carry on if you want. But if you're going to bring luggage, again, your suitcase, which is up to 50 pounds. And then for your carry-on bag, I have some images, like backpacks are very popular for a carry-on bag, a duffel bag, something soft-sided that you could easily put up in the overhead bin. You can bring a hard case rolling bag, but they are starting to crack down on those and checking them at the door of the plane for free, but they might check it. So just be aware of that. If you have a bigger carry-on, they might make you check it at the door. I like to carry a backpack. I have a lot of room in my backpack. And then I have a tote bag as my personal item. So down at the bottom on the left there, I have a tote bag, something like that. I put it under the seat in front of me. My carry-on goes up above. I want to make sure, and you should as well, that you have leg room under that seat in front of you. If you shove your carry-on in there, you really don't have any room to stretch. So it's really a good suggestion to put the carry-on bag up and maybe a small tote bag at your feet. I, have my purse. I downsized my purse to a crossover, a crossbody, and I put it in my tote bag with all the items that I want, and I keep them at my feet. That way I don't have to get up and get in my carry-on bag at all. It's up, stored, and all that. So just some ideas for you. Personal item can also be like a CPAP machine or a camera bag, something small, something extra, of course. Let's first talk about your suitcase. So let's talk about the big bag. We get you a gray luggage tag. So if you read at the very bottom, it says attach the luggage, gray luggage tag attached when you arrive. Oops, it says Phoenix. I'm so sorry. When you arrive in Hawaii. Gosh, I didn't catch that. I have proofread this 100 times. When you arrive in Hawaii, Put that tag on your bag, and that way we will manage transporting your bag for you. The only time you handle your luggage is at the airport. And the rest of the time, between your hotels and delivering them to your rooms, our porters will do that for you. Okay. So, again, put that luggage tag on when you arrive in Hawaii and
Okay, looks like Tracy has frozen. Hopefully she realizes it and maybe goes out and comes back in. Um, see if I can send her a message. Oh, there she is. Looks like she's back. You're
yeah,
muted,
there we go.
Tracy. Here we
We just
go.
we were
Okay.
talking about technology before the other day. So, okay, so everybody's still there? I
I
don't know.
think so.
Okay, good, good. All right, so clothing. So there are we have refillable water
Okay,
bottles.
Tracy,
Yep.
hold on. We don't see your presentation. So can you
Oh,
share that again?
yep, I'm gonna have to share it again. Sorry about that. Hopefully it'll let me. There it is. Is it up? You got it? Great. Oh, thank you. We always worry about technology. Regina and I were talking about that the other day. We're like, oh, technology. So, okay, so suggestions to bring a refillable water bottle is a great thing. We're going to supply bottled water for you, but it's always nice to have your own decanter that maybe keeps the water nice and cold and it's identifiable. Sunglasses, sunscreen, and swimsuit, a hat. Think about the sun, right? We've been out of the sun for a while now, so these are important things to remember. Medications, phone charger. I would say put that in your carry-on, but make sure that you always pack your phone charger. Hand sanitizer, comfortable walking shoes. I would certainly have sandals that are comfortable. Flip-flops are going to get a little bit tiresome after a while, so some good sturdy sandals. Maybe set tennis shoes or light hiking shoes with like a good insole in them. Casual, comfortable clothes for the trip. Although I am going to say if you want to throw in a little Hawaiian shirt or something Hawaiian, like colorful, it's always fun to dress up, especially at the luau. So if you want to throw in some colorful clothing, and if you wanted to dress up a little bit on some of your nights out, you're certainly welcome to do that. Our evenings, our dinners that are included will be casual and comfortable. Any liquids over 3 ounces, for example, shampoo, big shampoo, conditioner, body wash, perfume, big lotions, any of that kind of stuff, sunscreen, put it in a Ziploc bag. You certainly want to make sure everything in your suitcase stays protected and nothing, bursts in your bag. So put those things in a Ziploc, seal them up nice and tight. And if you're going to carry any liquids, do know the hotel will supply, those things for you, the shampoo and conditioner and body wash. But if you have all your favorites or you need shaving cream, whatever, make sure to put it in a Ziploc bag. A light jacket. You definitely will need a light jacket for some of our altitude days. We're going to be hitting some different altitudes, and mornings might be cool if you want to go for a walk. And then a bag for your laundry. And then maybe again, that tote bag that I mentioned. I always have that tote bag with me on the bus and on the plane. It's just nice to be able to have my things all together. And then let's go to the next slide. My remote. Okay, hold on. There goes that technology again. There we go. Okay. So now let's talk about your carry-on and your personal item. So everyone's welcome, those two things like I mentioned. And you can see the picture down at the bottom. She's putting that carry-on up above. That's like my big suggestion is really try not to have it under the seat in front of you. It's really important that you're able to stretch and move around on the plane and keep your legs free. So consider something easy and light that you can lift. And again, that small tote bag, and I mentioned the camera bag, CPAP, laptops, any of those things you can carry on as well. Phone charger, I would recommend having that on the plane. Earbuds, the airline will supply earbuds for watching movies and things, but you might have your own that you like and want to bring a book, magazines, personal snacks, medications, hand sanitizer, sanitizer wipes. Just think about this, like it is germ season, right, for us, and we want to make sure that we keep our area clean. I'm not a germaphobe, but when I fly in germ season, I have little Purell wipes, and I wipe my TV, I wipe my armrests, and I really like to keep my area clean of germs. And when I use the restroom on the plane, I always hand sanitize when I come back, because you want to make sure to just keep things nice and clean. Carry on and TSA, let's talk about that. So TSA pre-check. If you have TSA pre-check, certainly go online, make sure those numbers are in the system. And I would also recommend bringing your number with you when you check in as well, just for precaution to have those numbers with you. Going through security, whether you TSA pre-check or not, the rules do apply that every liquid must be under 3 ounces. Um, like little eye drops, little hand lotion, little hand sanitizer, those little bottles, and they still would like you to put them in a quart-size Ziploc bag. So, I put all my little things in a quart-size Ziploc bag, and then when I'm going through security, if they want to, they can see right through the bag. And that brings me to medications. This is always a big one as well. So if you plan to have all your meds in your carry-on, they ideally you should have them in your prescription bottles in that, in all labeled and everything. But if not, at least have a note card or written list of what you're carrying. Maybe even your blood type, like just a note card about you, your medical things and what you take. Sometimes a pharmacist will even print labels for you. You can put them on a little note card. But I have 2 prescription bottles and I do take them with me and I put them in my quart-size Ziploc bag. If you use a pill organizer, like that, strip, right? And it's all full, TSA could inspect and ask you, what that is. So again, if you have everything written on that note card and you're prepared, no problem at all. Another option, which a lot of people do and I do, is I carry 2 or 3 days worth in my carry-on and I secure the rest in my suitcase. I fill my whole pill organizer and then I put it in my suitcase. So, but that's a personal choice. I know some meds are more stronger and more important than others. Most of mine are vitamins, so not as important, but you certainly want to do what works best for you. Comfort on travel days. Forgive me that it says Arizona. That's where I was cutting and pasting and putting these together. But comfort on travel days. Dress comfortable for your flights, first and foremost. Hawaii is 6 hours earlier than the Eastern time zone. So I'm not sure where some of you might be, not in you might be in the Central time zone, but they are earlier than us, right? So like right there, it's in the late morning, early afternoon there. So keep that in mind. Don't drink too much caffeine the day of travel. Caffeine can cause cramping and headaches and things. If you drink too much of it, you get a little bit dehydrated. Flying does kind of strange things to the body. So make sure that are drinking plenty of water. Perhaps disinfect the area I mentioned. Keep your legs area clear and stretch in your seat if you need to, especially those of you that are flying nonstop from here to Hawaii. You'll want to get up. If you need to stretch your legs, and try to keep your personal items at your feet and that you are handy and easy to grab. I think I skipped a slide there. Let's go back to, hang on, I'm going to go back to gratuities. Here we go. Tour director. So tour director is Larry Womack. He's in Hawaii right now with my group. He is one of our most requested. He is a world traveler. He's very tall. He's very, very kind. He has got so much experience, and this is his life, right? This is what he does. And I know he's had some surgeries and back troubles and things, and he's back at it. And he loves just, bikes and hikes and cooks and gardens and really, really wonderful guy. He is going to be with you from start to finish. So what's going to happen when you land in Hawaii, either he or some of his partners will be there with Premier World Discovery signs and, kind of there to kind of greet everybody and gather everybody up together and be patient at the airport because sometimes he might say, okay, folks, welcome. Give me 30 more minutes. I've got another flight coming in and we're trying to, get everybody together and make sure that it all kind of flows nice and easy at the airport. He's great. You will enjoy Larry. The next paragraph in this booklet talks about gratuities. So this is another question that I always get. So I'm giving you, and in your folder here, it gives you the recommended amount. So in bold. And your tour director, he's with you the whole 9 days. And I think your packet might say $9 to $12. Mine says 9 to 11, but $9 to $12 per person per day. So if you're a married couple, keep that in mind, right? It's a per person tip. And for example, 9 days would be about $81 to $99 total per person. Larry is not an employee. Larry is a contracted worker. So tips are really his main pay. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're, at the end of the tour. Tipping's always done at the end of the trip. And I'm a firm believer that it's a personal thing. So I give you the recommended amounts, but again, it's something that, is personal between you and whatever you decide. You have two envelopes in your packet. The tour director envelope is green, and then you have the driver envelope. But let's talk about the driver. You're going to have drivers because you're on 3 different islands, right? So the tipping suggested amount for a driver is $4 to $6 per person per day. You're not going to have the same driver everywhere you go. So I would talk to Larry on, when and how, and just say, hey, are we going to have the same driver the entire time we're in Maui or the entire time we're in Oahu? And if not, be prepared if if you wanted to tip your driver, that's kind of something you'll want to, to kind of figure out. It's customary. And again, it's done at the end of the trip and certainly reflects the quality of service provided, just like any other tipping you would do. The next paragraph says hotels. So here are your three wonderful, these are all Marriott properties. The first one is in the top right corner. It's the Sheraton Princess Kailani. This is one block across the street from across a little street actually to get to the famous Waikiki Beach, and great location, shops within walking distance, cafes, things like that. It's a really, really lovely property. My advice is always to walk around the property, get to know it, learn it. Sometimes there's hidden treasures in the hotel, like koi ponds or gardens or different cafes or coffee shops that you might not know if you just come in the lobby. So certainly walk around and get familiar. Your next hotel for 2 nights, the first night is 3 nights, and then the next hotel is 2 nights. It's the King Kamehameha Kona Beach Resort. And it's the bottom left corner. Something unique about this hotel is they have this little lagoon pool. So as you can see it in the picture, it's its own private little, beautiful little lagoon pool. And of course, or beach. And then of course, a pool and all the tropics you want around it and everything else that goes with it. And feel free to look at the websites and kind of get an idea what's there. And last but not least, our last 3 nights in Maui are going to be at the Sheraton Maui Resort and Spa. Notice the word spa. That usually means there's massages involved or a nice treatment. If you want to do that, you're certainly welcome to do that on your own, but they're lovely properties. Friendly reminder, and I only say this because Hawaii is very earth friendly, very green. So hotel service may or may not be every day. The days of stripping the beds and bleaching the sheets and bleaching the towels and all that are really kind of a thing of the past, right? They're trying to be more earth friendly. So they might, if you need towels, if you need washcloths, and you haven't gotten them replaced, just ask the front desk, right? It's just something that's kind of a new thing that we're noticing that has changed a lot. More than likely, you'll have somebody there every day. But again, I never like to overpromise something like that with the lack of service or lack of help. And then, of course, them trying to be a little bit earth friendly. So anything you need, don't be afraid to ask for it. One other reminder about hotels, too, is that, you know, there's just things, activities like in the lobby. There might be like an activity table or a concierge. Feel free to, if there's something you want to do on your own, you can even book it through the hotel. Ask Larry; he'll be able to help you with all that as well. Next paragraph and the next side of the booklet says meals. So we have 8 meals included. And because you are an alumni group, you also get a welcome reception that first night, which is really nice. Breakfast will be at the hotel, and then you'll have 3 dinners included. Then you'll have an opportunity to go out and do some meals on your own and find. If you love seafood, this is the place to find it, right? So enjoy all the lovely dining experience. And then, of course, meals that we provide, the tipping is included. You do not have to tip on any of our meals. You will be traveling by deluxe motor coach at your destination. So I'm not sure how Larry's going to manage the seat rotation, but usually our tour directors rotate the seats every day. So you'll sit in the same seat the entire day, but then the next day, Larry might have you rotate the seats. So he'll have a system down, and it's nice, it's fair, and it's a good way for everybody to meet new people and kind of get a different perspective of the tour. The trip itself is non-smoking, meaning the bus is non-smoking, the hotel, the restaurants will be non-smoking. But if anyone on the trip is a smoker, we definitely have ample time to find the designated areas. And of course, you can ask Larry or any of the restaurants or places you're visiting, and they'll let you know. So here are the current temperatures. And I like to show this for many reasons. One, because it's amazing, because right now although I'm in Michigan, I'm in Livonia, and it was 45 degrees today. So I have to say that's pretty nice, but nothing like this. But it's important to pack accordingly, right? We'd love to see you. We don't want you to be hot. So shorts are fine. Tank tops are fine. Layer up a little bit. If we leave in the morning, it might be a little chillier. And then as the day goes on, it gets warmer. So just kind of pack according to the weather. Check the weather before you go. Could be a little bit of moisture in the air sometimes. Be ready for that as well. It's kind of like anywhere tropical where sometimes the rain will zip in and zip out really quick and cool everybody down a little bit, which is nice. So just check those temperatures before you go. And then the next paragraph says name badges. So we ask that you put your name badge on when you arrive in Hawaii. Put that badge on, the one that, that it's got, Michigan State University on it, and it's green and white. It's got all your name and everything, and proudly put that on and walk down to the baggage area. And Larry's looking for those. And anybody that's helping Larry at the airport is looking for the lanyards. A bit of advice, somebody came up with a really good idea, and I have to give her credit. It was a traveler. She took her luggage tag, she puts it in her lanyard, in her name tag, and then just when she goes, just gets her bag, she takes it out, puts it on her suitcase. So that's not a bad idea to have it handy. The back of the lanyard has a zipper pouch. And I will say that comes in handy. You can put your room key in there. There were days I never even took a purse. I put my credit card, my license, my cash, everything, my room key right in the back there, and I was hands-free. You can also sometimes phones fit in the back of that. So, utilize it. It's really a good little tool to have while you're traveling. Next paragraph says good traveler code. This is probably the most important in the meeting because we do ask that you have an open mind and know that travel is really unpredictable, kind of like life. We never know what's going to happen if things arise. So I want you to just take a deep breath. If something were to arise or some expected situation comes up, let Larry stress about that. Let him worry about that. I want you to go have a wonderful time and not worry about that kind of stuff. It's really, sometimes things are out of our control, and then Larry has to figure it out and fix it. And, anything. I've seen flight delays, bags get lost. I've had a group have a flat tire on a bus before, not here, but anything can happen. So you always have to be a little bit ready for those unexpected surprises sometimes. Anyone needing special assistance. Obviously, we are all ADA aware. We are the airlines, the hotels. If any of you need assistance going through the airport, don't be afraid to ask for it when you check in, okay? They will pick you up at the ticket counter area, take you right to the gate, and then if you have a connection, there'll be a wheelchair waiting for you to take you to your next gate as well. Or even on the way home, if your back hurts or you just can't walk through the airports, please don't be afraid to ask for assistance, okay? We want this trip to be comfortable coming and going. The next paragraph talks about travel money. I have a little bit of advice here. Certainly, clean out your wallet or leave your big wallet at home. And really, like I have a little fold, like a tiny little fold wallet that I take on tour. And I always just have my necessities in there, just what I need. I leave all the credit cards, like the extra stuff, the my Kohl's card or my Home Depot card or my Costco card, all that stuff stays at home. And I just take what I need and I clean out my wallet. And then a combination of cash and credit cards are great. Take a picture if you're going to take any credit cards or debit cards with you. My biggest advice is take a picture with your phone, front and back of the card. Because the back of your credit card says if lost or stolen, right? Call 1-800 and they have a number. So make sure that you have that information with you. If you have any situation, you're good. You have the information. You can try to notify your credit card or debit bank card if that you'll be traveling. I've tried to do that with a couple of my cards, and they're like, you don't need to let us know anymore. So, they've really upped the safety and security, but you're welcome to call if you feel comfortable doing that. And then envelopes for your receipts. I'm a big envelope carrier. I always have them with me. I think it's important I keep my receipts together. I like to have things kind of, always safe and sound. So it's just a little suggestion for you as you travel. Cell phones, it's not in the packet, but I like to remind people that you will be using your cell phone for pictures and calling and sending pictures and text to people and whatever. And what happens is you are on Wi-Fi and you're not on Wi-Fi. A lot of times you'll be roaming and you might not have really good Wi-Fi in that, and it'll gobble up your battery. So your phone will run out of charge faster than usual. So at night at the hotel, be sure to charge it all up. Charge it overnight, give it a good full charge. And then some motor coaches will have plugs, like you can charge up your phone. So look for that. If the bus has those outlets, bring your charger on the bus with you. I have my little tote bag and I put all that stuff in there. But if not, then you can buy a little portable, those little small portable chargers that like a picture in the middle there and on the right. Those are pretty inexpensive. You could charge those up and then plug your phone into it on the bus, and then that way you can recharge your phone. And then if you flip to the very back, excuse me, of this document, this travel information document, there's a packing information checklist, which I don't need to go through. I've kind of already covered all of that. But right below that says emergency telephone number. It's up on my screen. This is really for an emergency situation. You're in the airport, you missed your flight, or anything like that happens, or maybe someone back at home wants an emergency number that in case they need to reach you after hours or what have you. These are the numbers. Okay, we have a 24-hour service, and so you'll know where to find this number if you need it. It's on this packet. Okay. So now I want you to go into your packet and pull out the optional sheet. There's an optional sheet that shows 2 extra tours that you can purchase in addition to the tour itself. I'll wait a minute until you find it. It's kind of colorful. It's got a nice picture on it. So these optional tours, you do not have to prepay for these. This is something you purchase when you get to Hawaii, which is nice because it gives you time to think about it and talk about it, or maybe even ask Larry, hey, Larry, tell me more about this option. And maybe he can give you some advice about it and tell you more about it. But the Oahu Circle Island tour falls on day 2. I believe it's day 2. And this is with a local driver guide. You'll see the entire island, the mountains, the popular surf spots. You'll go to see the giant volcano. You're going to hit a lot of the landmarks. You'll see Diamond Head. You're going to hit Waimea and drive through some of the most, like the big, beautiful homes there. And then the Dole Plantation is there. So you'll have an opportunity to visit the plantation and learn about the history of the pineapple. And along with stops at a coffee and pineapple farm, you'll be stopping at that as well. And then you're visiting the temple, admissions included. You'll see the waterfall. It's wonderful. It's a beautiful day. It's 9 hours. So you're going to leave about 8 in the morning and come back before dinner. And this will be a neat experience. If you've never been to Hawaii and you want to learn more about the island, this is a great way to do it. However, if you're planning on free time in Oahu, then this is your only free day to spend in Oahu. Now, while you are in Maui, I think it's day 7, I'm pretty sure it's day 7, there is a Maui whale watching cruise excursion. This is $230 per person. This includes your transportation and the cruise itself. And I realize this is not something for everyone, so we do keep this as an option. But if you've never done whale watching and you want to do this, this is certainly the place to do it because between December and April, there are over 8,000 whales migrate there, like miles and miles, like over 3,000 miles to come here to Maui to the warm waters. And then they mate and they give birth, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful experience. And there's also sometimes you'll see manta rays and sea turtles and all kinds of things out there, plus a beautiful 360 view of Maui, right? So this is about 4 hours, leave about 9 a.m. And this is certainly a unique experience. If you have motion sickness, this is one where I highly recommend that you are prepared for motion sickness to take this boat out for whale watching. On the back of the form is your reservation form. You fill it out and number of people, and you can pay by check, you can pay by credit card. I certainly would, again, there's the opportunity to bring an envelope with you, maybe a business size envelope. You can fold up this form, have your payment in there sealed, and you can give it to Larry. You could talk to Larry. He will collect the forms and the payments, and he'll let you know the first day that you get there. Hey, everybody, I will be collecting your optional forms tomorrow or the next day or whatever. He'll kind of give you a timeline when that's going to happen. Okay. Probably for Oahu, he'll need to do it on the first arrival day. And before I open for questions, I had to just throw in some of my favorite pictures. I know you're going there, but I just have to point out a few things. I mean, if you've never been, this is paradise, and it is tropical and colorful and sunshiny. And oh my gosh, the ocean air. I encourage you, this is Waikiki. Walk out one morning, if you need a sweater or whatever, have a cup of coffee. Go out to the ocean in the morning and see what the ocean brings up. It's fun to walk on the sand in the morning and see all the things that have come up, shells and creatures and things. It is a magnificent experience. Now, the last time I was there, the waters in Waikiki Beach were warm and beautiful. It was a neat experience. So certainly soak that up. Even if you don't plan to go in the ocean and swim, walk the beach. I promise you, you'll love that. One other thing that I'm a military wife, so this is something to me. I just think this is just a beautiful tribute. This is a tomb, really, is what this is. We're going to take you from the museum and that over to see the memorial. There will be, oh my gosh, placards and a film and news clippings and everything you can imagine to learn about Pearl Harbor and what happened that day. And then you go out to the memorial, and it's quiet and somber and beautiful, and really something that's very, very memorable. Another thing I'd like to point out, I love this, the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific at Punch Bowl. This is a dormant crater, and they put this cemetery up there where our veterans are laid to rest. Look at the view that they get from Hawaii. I mean, and look at the houses built along the side of the crater. I mean, this is so breathtaking. Have those cameras ready for these things. And in Waikiki, so again, day 2 is your only full day off. If you'd rather not take the Circle Island tour, there are so many things to do. The aquarium, the zoo, there's a animal sanctuary, Waimea Falls, snorkeling, shopping, whatever you want. This is your vacation. Make it however you want to make it. Create it in the most beautiful experience of a lifetime. And you've been there, maybe you've been there before, maybe you've never been. So it's yours to experience. This is probably one of my favorite pictures in this entire slide presentation. This is on the Big Island. The Big Island, if you've never been or don't understand like Hawaii, how it is, the Big Island has two sides, Kona and Hilo. So when we arrive in the Big Island, you will be in Hilo, and that's where the volcano activity is, and where you find these black sand beaches. And I love the white water hitting it, and that's that kind of lava sand. It's very beautiful to look at. And of course, the Volcanoes National Park. it's been very active and very bubbly lately. So let's hope that you get to see some of the lava. This is like, again, no, I mean, there's so few places like this on Earth. To be able to be there and really take this in is quite memorable. Have those cameras ready. That's the Hilo side of the island. Then we go to the other side of the island where we're going to be staying on the Kona coast. And this is where it's paradise, right? Like you picture, like they film movies here like Jurassic Park and all these tropical films were done here on the Kona coast. There's waterfalls and tropics. So it goes from like this, fiery, volcano area into this green, lush tropical paradise. So you will have free time on the Big Island. So for those of you that love nature, the beach, or maybe you want to shop, maybe you want to go snorkeling, what have you, you'll have opportunities. And again, Larry can help you with that. One other thing, when we leave the Big Island, we'll fly to Maui. We're going to have, and I wanted to point this out, an early morning sunrise at the top of Mount Haleakala. This is a national park known as the House of the Sun. You literally are going to feel like you've left Earth and you've gone to another planet when you come up here. It's magical, and you'll have the opportunity to watch the sunrise over this beautiful. This is in Maui. You will have a day at leisure in Maui, and again, this is the same day where you have the whale watching cruise. So if you do the whale watching in the morning, that's about 4 hours. You'll have the whole rest of the day to yourself in Maui, and of course, there's lots to do. The pool, the beach. If you want to walk around, you can walk to shops and things, Whalers Village, hit the spa, certainly however you want to enjoy your day. Also, while you're in Maui, you'll visit the tropical plantation. You'll take a ride through there, then you'll have a free time to explore and see the beautiful flowers and everything that the plantation has to offer. Last but not least, you are going to go to the most sacred of all of Hawaii, which is in Maui, are the Iao Valley and the Needle. One thing you'll learn about the Hawaiian people, they're rich, rich in tradition and rich in their history and their heritage, very proud of it. And this is a very sacred area. And they pray to different gods, right? The god of the sky, the god of the sea, the god of fire. They have all these different pagan gods, and they're very, very strong. And it's a beautiful, beautiful tradition that they share. And your last night while in Maui is going to be at our Hawaiian luau. And you'll love this. This is a lot of fun. And when I tell you maybe bring something Hawaiian to wear, this would be the perfect place to bring it or wear it. And you'll see the beautiful, the hula and all the different chants and the dances all mean something. Every move they make, every chant they do, all has meaning behind it, right? And then at night when the lights start to gets dark, the fire comes out and they're doing their fire twirling, and you'll hear the chanting and see the dances and the songs. It is magical. Truly, truly a great way to end the trip. And then you say aloha to Hawaii after 9 wonderful days. So I'm going to go ahead and ask Regina if there's any questions in the chat, or open it up to see if any of you have questions for me.
Doesn't look like there's any questions, but if you do, please go ahead and unmute yourself and you can go ahead and ask Tracy.
Yeah, don't be shy. Hi, Karen, are you trying to ask a question? If we can't hear you, you can type it in the chat if you're having trouble getting sound.
Yeah, for some reason we're not hearing if you are.
Yeah. Sorry, Karen. If you can figure out where the chat is, it's usually if you move your mouse around on the screen, a bar will pop down and there'll be a chat area. Usually mine's toward the top. Not sure what kind of computer you're on. Let me mention one last thing too that I didn't say. I'm going to stress this to you is when you arrive at the airport, I'm really highly going to recommend 2 to 3 hours. Time is our friend, right? There's always construction or traffic or delays or anything, or a busy airport. And there's nothing worse than stressing out, pushing the clock, trying to get checked in. Go early. Trust me, go early. Get yourself through security and grab a cup of coffee or a pop or water. Relax. and make that day, your travel day, really nice and smooth and not stressful. Okay.
Okay, Tracy, it looks like Karen did
Good.
pose her questions in the
Yes.
chat. She says, we are staying one extra day. Is the
Okay.
easiest way to add a hotel night for us to call the hotel? Will they have our name?
Yeah, I mean, I would certainly just say, here's the deal. I'm staying there with Premier World Discovery and Michigan State University. I would like to add one more night to my reservation, and they should be able to find you through through us. Give them your name because your name is in on the room already attached. So that's probably going to be the best way to do it. And you can email them, you can call them, whatever works best. That's a great question. Enjoy that extra
Yeah,
day.
all right. Yeah, and then her second question, uh, any great hikes you would recommend on any of the islands?
Ooh, the best hike would be Diamond Head is my number one recommendation, which is on Oahu. And you wouldn't be able to do it if you do the Circle Island tour because Diamond Head is it's quite a hike. If you've never heard of it or done it, it's a big hike. When you get to the top, you are overlooking Waikiki and Honolulu. Beautiful. As far as some of the other islands, I would ask Larry because he might be able to give you more of different levels of hiking and different types of hiking that's available and easy to get to from your hotel area. Oahu, you see Diamond Head, like it's there. It's always at the end of the beach, so it's a little bit more accessible. But definitely ask Larry too when you get to Oahu. If you want to hike Diamond Head, let him know, and he might have some insight, or even talk to the hotel concierge and they can give you suggestions on how to get there and a little more insight on that. But that's definite. It's a great question.
Right, yes. Anyone else have questions? Tracy covered quite a bit. So we don't have too many people with questions. That's
Good.
good.
And,
That's
and of course,
wonderful.
if you think of anything, you can always reach out to Regina and she and I will talk and we'll get all your questions answered. Sometimes you hang up the meeting and you think, oh, I forgot this one question. We're always here to help you.
Yes,
Always.
absolutely.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Well, I want to thank Tracy very much for this wonderful and thorough presentation about your trip. And I was thinking that it would be nice since you are all traveling together one question, Tracy.
Sure.
Are we paired up with another school or other university
Ooh,
during this
yes.
trip?
So I'm going to try to remember them all. So I know there's let's see, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, West Virginia, Kansas, University of Michigan. I'm in Michigan here, so I know that, the rival school. I think those are the main ones. There might be one more. I was trying to remember them all because I did look before the meeting and I meant to write them down. And I think it's a total on the itinerary on the front page, on the right column, about two-thirds of the way down, it says the number of passengers on the trip. I think it's 47. Was it 47?
Yeah.
I think, yep,
Yep. Yep.
47. And then
47.
Larry's name is there as well. So
And so will everyone be on the same motor coach?
yep, yep, it'll all be together on that,
All
and
right.
yep, on one bus.
So
And
you'll have
buses
an
will,
opportunity to meet alums from other schools.
yeah, and hopefully you're all wearing your green and white. I mean, you gotta represent, right? So,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
they'll do group pictures and things. So certainly come prepared to show off a little bit and show your school spirit, but it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah.
yes.
Do we have to wait to sign up for any of the optional tours?
Yep. Good question. The two optional tours, you purchase those when you get there. We don't take those in advance. That's all done through Larry, the tour director. He'll take those from you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any
And
other
there's a
questions?
maximum of, I believe it was 10 people on the first tour and 15 for whale watching.
Correct. Correct. With 47, I don't think we'll have any trouble meeting the minimum. Sometimes if we have a small group of like 25,
Those are minimums, not maximums.
that's minimum. Right, right, right.
Okay.
That's minimum. So what that means is like there has to be at least 10 people before we can book it because then we get a group and a group rate and things like that. And Larry will take care of it. Larry does all the takes all the reservations. He calls in and then says, okay, we have this many people coming. I need this many tickets. And then they do that. Or like for the Circle Island tour, he has to line up all the puzzle pieces, the Dole Plantation and the lunch, and let them know how many people are coming. So that's why we do that when you get there, and that way you don't have to. Sometimes if we do things way, way in advance, people might show up in Hawaii and say, "Oh, I wish I didn't sign up for that. I'd rather do this instead," right? So we do that when you get there, so you can decide when you get there. And even like I said, you might want to say, "Hey, Larry, tell me more about this tour. Tell me more about the whale watching. I want to know if it's something I should do or not do, or maybe all my life I've wanted to climb Diamond Head. Maybe I should do that instead, or what have you." So when you get there, he'll give you all the good insight.
Great, thank you.
Rick wanted to share that he says, I just called Sheridan Maui today to add one night, March 19th. Ask for in-house reservations.
Okay.
So
Oh, good.
just something to
Good to
share.
know.
Yep.
Thank you.
So, all right. Any other questions? Okay. Well, I thought what would be nice is an opportunity for you to kind of mention or introduce yourselves. And so you can kind of get to know one another prior to arrival in Hawaii. And so if you like, you can just say a few words, mention what your connection is to MSU, if you're a graduate or a friend of the university, or if you're traveling with friends, and what you're looking forward to. So I'll start out with the Hollingsworths if you want. Like to say a few words?
I guess we can. I'm Robert. This is my wife, Evelyn.
I go by Lynn.
Okay, and really looking forward to this trip. Um, really look forward to whale watching. Okay. I'm a grad of MSU. Okay, and are there any University of Michigan folks on this trip with us?
I believe there are. They're not on this call, but Tracy did mention there would be some U of M grads on scheduled to be on the tour. So,
Okay.
all right. How about Ashley?
Hey, so I'm Ashley Thomas. This is my mom, Debbie Thomas, and my dad is also going to join us. He is a farmer, so he's doing farming stuff right now. But I had asked to go to Hawaii for my 40th birthday, but that was over 2 years ago, and I had a stroke. So I am pretty well into recovery. So, anyways, we're going now. Because I've always wanted to go to Hawaii. And we thought, let's just go. So we live in Alabama. They live we just live like on different sides of Limestone County, which is basically if you just look straight south of Nashville, right over the border into Alabama, then you're in Limestone County. So they're on the west side, I'm on the east side. But yeah, we are, just so you know, like they're going to go on the whale watching. So those two are for sure going to go. And then we're going to do the other one. I'm just not going to go on the whale watching one. But yeah, I'm excited about Kona coffee. Yeah, I'm right. If you know, you know on that one. But yeah, no, we're really excited.
My husband and I are graduates
Yeah.
of MSU.
They just let me come along because I graduated from the Air Force Academy, but I always like to say like we all had to apply there. And I did get in, but then I went to the Air Force Academy. So, but I'm a huge Michigan State fan. So
I have one question. Did you all watch that game last night? Basketball game last
We
night?
missed it, Debbie. Yeah, for some reason it's not
I
picking up.
have one question. Did you all watch the game last night?
Oh, yeah.
I scared our dog. I screamed so loud. The dog was hiding because I scared her so much.
I woke up a deaf 15-year-old dachshund. We were in different houses, so It was like, and I don't miss the games much, but I did miss that one. And I was like, oh shoot, it's Wednesday. Yeah, that was kind of weird that it was on a Wednesday. And then my dad calls me and he goes, hey, did you record that game? And I go, well, I record every game. And he goes, well, you need to turn it on, like 2 minutes left in the game. And I was like, okay, okay. And I got on there and I was like,
I know that was something. I just love to see the reaction of the bench after the shot
Yes!
goes
I
in and it
know.
just explode. I mean, it was just wonderful.
Right.
Tracy, if you can see the game last night, we won it. It was tied. The game was tied, and we got the ball. And Trey Holloman shot up. It was more than half court. I mean,
Oh
he
my
threw up a
gosh.
shot and it went in. And so that just, it was incredible.
Did
So
you
we're going to
push it
be
on your- I'm
right.
sorry.
No, we're going to be in the Big Ten tournament for this trip. So I'm just
Yeah.
like everybody, just to put everybody in the right frame of mind, especially if we have Michigan going with us.
Yeah,
So
so
we'll see.
I'm hopeful that Larry can figure out a way, if there's a way to be able to watch
Yeah.
the games. You might want to ask him, or if anyone has a computer that can maybe stream the game for you.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
It'll happen.
we need all the support. We need everyone cheering, so
Yeah.
That's great.
it would be great. So, all right, well, thank
But
you
it's very
all
nice to
for-
meet you guys.
Yes, yes, and thank you all for attending this. I hope it was helpful. Thank you, Tracy, again so much for
course.
all the information, and I wish you guys a wonderful trip. Hawaii is beautiful, and I wish you safe travels too. So thank you, and I will go ahead and send this recording out. So if there was something that Tracy covered that you didn't quite remember, I'll go ahead and send you a link so that you can review it again if you need to. So,
Thank you, much
all right.
appreciated.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right,
Bye,
take care and go
everybody.
green.
Bye. See you
All right.
soon.
Bye.
Woohoo!